One thing that you mentioned earlier, Chris, was that you needed a change and you started to feed your mind. What did you feel that you needed to change?
One thing I like challenge, and I'm very adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so and I saw some people changing their lives. Like they like okay, I bore some people born poor and they are okay if they die poor, you know. And I dream about financial freedom to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, and I can help whoever I want. If I want to help my family well is not, they don't have a lot of money. So if I can help my family, or I can help whoever I want to help, I feel like helping. And financial freedom, I think, is one of the reasons. And also um, this challenge, because it's not easy to, when you're born with a poor mindset and then you believe that's the reality, but there is not a different reality in this world that we don't know when we are in. It's kind of, there are different worlds
Mm-hmm.
inside this world, right?
I agree. The reason why I agree is I remember years ago thinking that I was going to retire a branch manager. I didn't have a plan after that. And I've already been a branch manager, done other things. So I never planned beyond that. And now I see that there's like a beautiful world out there. I think that the most powerful trait that you can have or achieve is freedom, not only with time, but financial freedom as well. But yeah, I do believe that there's poor mindset and you have to learn, you have to unlearn what you've learned and learn new things. So you started to feed your mind with podcasts. What is your favorite podcast?
I love the mindset mentor,
Okay.
Rob Dial Jr.
Okay, very nice.
Yes.
Very, and how often do you listen to the podcast?
Well, I listened very often when I was driving a lot
Mm, I
in
see.
San Francisco, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm listening to Bob Proctor audio book,
Very nice.
Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life.
Very nice. What
So
is one key thing that you like or that he says in the book so far that you like?
well, he talks about repetition, because sometimes well, what we learn, our paradigm, is what we listened when we were a kid. For a lot of times our parents says something to us,
Mm-hmm.
and then we create a paradigm. And but it's not like one person will tell you something and you're gonna believe that forever. And it's a repetition. So if we want to change, we need like that repetition until it goes from our conscious to our subconscious mind, and
Very
then it
nice.
becomes your new paradigm.
Oh,
It
very
takes
nice.
work.
Okay. Is there something specific that you're working on right now that you're repeating that you that you would like to share? You don't have to share everything, but one like one thing.
Well, let's see what I can share.
Like for example, in the community that I'm a part of, I listen to podcasts as well. And so one of my favorite podcasts is from the Real AF from Andy Frisella and my Let's podcast as well. And one thing I've learned from them is repetition, in a sense that we have to do the things that we don't like again and again and again. So that way our mind is and our body is just doing these repetitive things versus doing it daily versus like letting our feelings take over and saying, I don't feel like doing this today. So, for example, I read 10 pages a day, like no matter what, like I read 10 pages a day to feed my mind. so that way it becomes a habit. So is there something that you're repeating from what you talked about
Oh, you
that you're
mean
working on?
the habits?
Hmm.
Well, the reading and the writing also.
Very
So
nice.
that part I learned with Bob Proctor,
Oh,
that
nice.
you write something and then in a present tense. I'm happy and grateful now that my life is like this and like that. So yes, I am getting it as a habit,
Oh, that's
and
very
I'm
nice.
working like I'm slowly, step by step, I'm getting there, and the gratitude also that I've listened a lot about Joe Dispenza and also another self help people. Um, the gratitude, well, I feel a great like change in my life
Oh,
with
that's
gratitude.
great. That's
Like,
great.
man, it's not just be grateful when you are rich, super rich. No, be grateful for your food, And I feel like every day I'm grateful for my food, I feel my food is like tastes better,
Oh, that's very nice. That's very
Yeah, and
nice.
every day in the morning I'm gonna be grateful for one more day for my life, for my health, my family's life and health. I always am grateful, and it is not like something that I do for like, oh, I have to do it. No, I'm happy and I feel good.
That's very good. That's very good. And now let's talk about you coming from Brazil. Like I know you mentioned at the beginning your journey and going to Toronto. But I just want to congratulate you because that is such it takes a lot of courage to not only make changes, but not only move, you didn't move to another city, you moved to another country. And you've been here for only a few years. And so I know a lot of people that have come from other countries and really have not soared or has have been as successful as you. And the reason I say that is because I Chris has shared with me pictures of the jobs that she's done since she's been here, and she's really hustled from cleaning to I think I saw a costume you were into. I
Yes.
mean, uh, she's done jobs, but she's figured out what she wants to do, and luckily she has her business now. But I mean, tell me how you made that decision to come to the States. I mean, that must have been hard, and how are you dealing with that now? How many years has it been?
Well, I've been here for 4 years so far. Yes, and one of the challenges is also the language because I learned English. I'm still learning English. Sometimes I can have some trouble depending on the context I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about or the word. And even though I still may have some trouble, I'm proud of myself for or I am right now that I can communicate in English. But well, it's a lot of challenge. But as I mentioned before, I like challenge, and well, I will face the hard work, and I know that time flies, and something is hard today, tomorrow is easier. You get it, and then if you don't face your fears, you just don't learn the lesson you have to learn with that challenge. You
I
know,
see.
like I was laughing one of these days. I was like feeling disappointed because something was going wrong, and then I thought like outside, like in perspective, and then I thought, wow, that's how people get successful. They will have disappointments. They will. Well, I cry. Sometimes it's
Oh,
not easy. Like a lot of challenge, and to achieve something bigger, you are gonna go through something harder.
very
So
true. Very true.
yeah, I'm happy to. Well, back to you.
In order for you to achieve great things, you have to take risks. And sometimes it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some challenges. I've definitely cried so many times when life has rained on me or when it stormed. But I'm glad that you have fed your mind, and it seems like you have the tools in your toolbox to get them out when you need it, when you're crying, when you're stressed out, and be grateful for even the food that you eat, that you chew. I have yet to, and please don't unfollow me because of this. I have yet to read Joe Dispenza's book. I have it on my list. And now you're a CEO of your company. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, sure. Um, Let me start from the beginning. As I mentioned, like I moved from San Francisco here, and then I got this job as a chauffeur, and then right away I felt, man, this is what I love to do. Like, wow, I love transporting people, and what I feel like I am a small part of people's life,
Very nice.
in different situation. So my business is a luxury transportation company. We drive people uh, luxury sedans, SUVs, or a sprinter or a bus. I offer all this kind of luxury transportation.
Very nice.
Yes, and yes, mostly is like pick up airport or drive to a party or like business people, Yes.
For example, I know that recently you've driven several people to Beverly Hills for some award shows, and then also some executives from here to like an event in San Francisco or in other cities. And so, I mean, what I like about Chris's business is that for myself, if I do need to travel somewhere and I need to drive, um, I think we can tie this into jujitsu. Like, for example, if I have a match, I can hire Chris and her company to drive me to a jujitsu match so I don't have to drive myself. That's kind of like a hint, hint to coach. But so let's talk about jujitsu a little bit. So this is how I actually met Chris um, on the mat at Cowboy Training Center. And so for me, the reason why I love rolling with this one is because she's my challenge. I have yet to learn how to submit her. And so she's my challenge right now. When I go to coach, I'm like, hey, I can't submit Chris
I love
and
it.
other blue belts. So let's work on that. I have a few moves that I'm going to work on you this week. So get
Okay,
ready.
great.
But tell me, what do you love about jiu-jitsu and how you feel it ties into, your personal success, your personal growth, and your business growth as well?
Okay, I can say like one sentence that summarize it.
Uh-huh.
It's jiu-jitsu makes me stronger,
Very nice.
and it's not only my body, it's my mind. Because as you mentioned, like you want to submit me, but I am people beat me up most of the time, as let's say 98% of the time I have higher belts and big guys beating me up. and
Same here.
and what makes me stronger.
Very nice.
Why? Because I get used to it, and those big guys beating me up, and then I go outside the world, and what is it? There's
This is the thing.
nothing. There's nothing
Right.
close to a big smashing me in the mat.
Right? I know. That's very funny that you say that because, yeah, we go there, we get our butts whooped, and then we're out in the world like, okay.
Stronger.
Very true.
Stronger.
We've also cried on the mat too. There's been days, not together, but separate times.
Yeah,
Tell me about
definitely.
that. How did you don't have to say specifically what it was, but
Mhm.
for me, when I've cried, I mean, I think I remember a time where I was just stressed out mentally, burnt out physically, coach on my butt, and just feeling just all the pressure and breaking. But that's what jujitsu is because while you're doing it, even though you're broken, you're still focusing. It's like training your mind and training your body.
Yes, like I think jujitsu keeps me sane, So But what happens is sometimes we are, I don't know, you don't feel so good. Sometimes I think some days we are stronger than others
Mm,
because
absolutely.
today I have a problem. Tomorrow I still have this problem, but
Mm-hmm.
today I'm gonna cry, and tomorrow I'm gonna lift my hand up and go for it, and do what I have to do to get what I have to get.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I can say. I think that day I was feeling um, more emotional, and I was thinking about my problem, and I felt very, very like crying, very weak. I felt weak, and
Oh, we
then
have those days. Yeah, we have those days.
yeah, definitely, yes. But then the next day, you just lift your head up. Well, I read
Go
in a
back and get
book.
smashed some more.
Yeah.
It sounds so bad to say that, right? I know I need to stop saying it that way, right?
What is it?
Because it sounds like smashed. It sounds
Oh,
inappropriate.
and she knows how to use that. Oh
She
my
doesn't use
god.
that. Yeah, I know, right? She's learning.
Okay, I want
Um,
to say, like, I read in a book that crying is a relief mechanism that God gave to us, right?
I believe it. I cry
Yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Oh, yeah. I cry. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
crying mechanism that God gave
A
us for sure.
relief
Very
mechanism.
sure. Very sure. I
Yes.
think mental health is super important. Like, all jokes aside, cry it out when you need to, talk about it with someone. I think that is something that we need to keep top of mind right now, especially with everything going on.
My parents, they are happy because they know that I am a hard worker.
Very
I'm not a
nice.
lazy person,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they are happy with that. And they don't see me working like 2 3 a.m., but they know that I am a hard worker, and they are happy.
Do you say that you're right now working hard so that way and working smart so that later on you can achieve the financial freedom that you're looking for?
Absolutely, it's the hard work plus the mindset work that will go together and have a different result.
Right.
That what I
So going back to when we met, you were asking everyone if we had read The Secret. And so you were like, "Have you read it? Have you read it? Have you read it?" To the point where I had to sit down and reread it again. So tell me how The Secret has helped you.
well, I have like a great example of
Oh,
a
very
law of
nice.
attraction that happened to me, and I look back and oh my God, that was so cool.
Share, share.
Because I used to drive a Prius in San Francisco, and so I would drive for rideshare,
Mhm.
and I would see those big black cars, luxury cars, and I would see those guys driving those cars, and oh my god, that would be so cool if I drove that car.
Very nice.
So it was like I didn't make any big effort. I just imagined myself driving that car, and and then I was like working with the secret and listening to the secret, and I came to
Mm.
Los Angeles. Actually, I drove to Los Angeles by myself with listening to the secret, and was very like when you do a therapy by yourself
Mm-hmm.
and you start like having good thoughts, and so I drove from Monterey to Los Angeles through Highway 1
Mm-hmm.
with that mindset, a law of attraction, like
Nice.
thoughts,
Very
those
good.
kind of energy.
And so it seems like you've attracted a lot of great things along the way.
Yes. So, and then when I moved to Los Angeles. When I moved to Los Angeles, I got a work as a job as a chauffeur, and I started driving that car. So it was like, and it was not only the car that I saw and I imagined myself. I also, as I participated in a seminar in in New York for self improvement. It was like one Sunday, the whole Sunday, all day with people talking about self improvement and giving examples. And then after that, I got the courage to move to Los Angeles, to decide and move and get out of the environment I was in. And so after that seminar, I I bought some blazers.
Very nice.
It was fun, and then I would drive for ride share with like a blazer. I felt like okay,
So
I
you
wanna
dressed for the
feel.
part,
Yes, I
even though
like
you were doing right share. You
even
see, guys,
though.
even though she was doing right share.
Yeah, so both actions was like law of attraction because I
Very
saw
nice.
the big car, even though I didn't have, I had a Prius. I saw the big car and I imagined myself, and I got a blazer. I started driving for a ride share with a blazer, feeling good,
Very
even if
nice.
I was in my Prius, and it was very fast driving. Uh, Driving very very rich people, like a Hollywood movie director and the actors in Los Angeles. That happened very fast after I got my blazer and driving my Prius, and I look at the big car, and like that
Isn't
it
it
changed.
crazy how when you start to, I also thought that I was going to be in places longer than I was. Like you said, it happened very fast. Like I remember wanting to be a leader of this group. I made it. I was there for 6 months and then I left. It was like, you've been there, done that, then you move on. I honestly thought that I was going to be there for like 2 years. And now I just feel like everything is just happening so fast. So tell me your process of visualizing it. What do you do? Do you wake up in the morning and do you meditate? Do you visualize while you're running? I mean, you can't be visual. What do you do? Share with me.
Sure. Well, that part of the car was like very, very, like I didn't make a lot of effort in of like visualize every day. No, it was like one day I saw it and then I did like it was very fast. But now I'm working with a vision board. I also like to go to the beach. When I go to the beach, I will sit and well, I believe in God, so I look at the ocean and I look at the sky, and they are huge. So the power of God is
It's
like
amazing. It's
what we want
we
is
don't even know
nothing.
the capable. Yeah, the
It's nothing.
capability.
Yes. So I like to sit and like on the sand, and I like to visualize because I feel like such a great energy
That's
sitting.
awesome. And everyone visualizes differently. Like Chris has caught me visualizing in the sauna. She, and that's not something that she feels comfort in doing. However, uh, I find comfort in doing that myself. And you also mentioned your faith in God. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, how do you feel like your love for God or your belief in God fits into all of this?
Well, I believe that everything I have been through, like God has helped me a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because all the troubles makes me closer to God.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me have more faith. So I think I feel like before I had to go through everything that I've been through and I am going through, so that my faith would be stronger because I used to go to church, but I didn't really know what God was.
I
But
understand.
I think God has plans in our lives.
Absolutely. I
And
completely
his plan,
300%
well,
agree.
okay, she's gonna go through this and this and this, and then she's gonna understand my power. And then what happened?
Yeah. Oh my God. He's so amazing. I mean, I could spend like a whole day just sitting here and just talking about all his glory and all his love. But I'm very glad that you have a spiritual connection with him. And so it seems to me overall like you take care of your mind, you take care of your body, you take care of your spirit. You're learning new things, you're feeding your mind. This is a lot of work. Like it's not, it's an everyday thing. And going back to what you were talking about, the books that you're reading, it just seems like you're doing the work to get to where you want to be. Not only doing jujitsu, not only reading, visualizing. Uh, she's also hired coaching as well. It's just all of these things that you're doing to win. And I think that's important to talk about because a lot of people, going back to what you were saying, change. Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And so, like for me, when I wanted to change, it was when everything was going bad also in my life. And it's like, okay, do I sit here and let the rain fall on me or do I do something different to change the outcome of my life? And so that's what I've been doing. I read, I train, I exercise, I visualize, I listen to podcasts. So basically, just I think we have great control of our futures, and I think that as long as we keep doing what we're doing, I'm just looking forward to where we're going to be at. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. In the well, I can say that what we are doing, maybe we may think, oh, it's not easy. Man, it's not easy being poor forever.
Oh my gosh.
so
Oh
so
my
you have,
gosh.
which heart do you choose? Do you choose to be poor? Because like if you like you do you go to jiu-jitsu, oh, but it's so hard going to jiu-jitsu and
And it
training
costs a
jiu-jitsu.
lot of money.
Yes, and then you do nothing. What happens if you do nothing? Your body, start getting old and getting down, and you
Hmm.
do, and then so what heart do
I'm
you
just
want?
100%
Yeah, so
agree.
what heart do you want? So
Right.
either you go to a job that you don't like and go every day unhappy, and do that every single day, and then you think, oh, but if I start my business, it's hard. What heart do you want? You wanna
What heart do you want? I think that's going to be the title of the podcast. What heart do you want?
yes,
Yeah.
being poor forever is hard,
You
and
know,
starting a business is hard too.
you said something too. You changed your environment. I've also changed my environment uh, in the last few years. I think in a fast way too, uh, because I wanted to show my children that they have the power to change their environment whenever they want.
So yes, I moved and I changed my environment because we are the average of the five people we have contact with, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
is that how it
Yes.
is?
Who's my five people right now? It's Coach, you, and
Super
then my
cool.
Arate family. Well, I mean, um, yeah, my therapist, which I hope he never listens to this.
Yeah, so I was close to people that if I talk to one kind of business, so those people would give me all the reasons why that would never be successful. So in
Hmm.
the any business you will start, you're gonna have a lot of reasons why it may not be successful, and you have
Hmm.
reasons why it will be successful. Which
Hmm.
one are you gonna focus on?
Very
If you
true.
focus on the ones that it is not gonna be successful, then it's not gonna be successful.
Very
But
true.
if you do focus on the reasons why this is gonna be successful, then it's gonna be. Everything is what you focus on, and then you get the result of your focus.
Very true. You mentioned about starting your business and choosing your heart, right? And so I can honestly say that choosing your business does take a lot of time. And especially being your own owner or entrepreneur, it's not like this. Like you have to do the work. You have to set up the business. You have to file the DBAs. You have to create the organizational paperwork. You have to Just a lot of things to set up. But again, choosing your heart, right? Like, what are you going to do? I've had to wake up early mornings and go to sleep late nights. I've had to burn the midnight oil. Do I recommend doing that now? No, it depends on where you're at in your success life. Like, where are you at? Are you where you want to be? I mean, I've done 75 hard where I've done 2 workouts a day. I've drank water. I've eaten clean. I've done what I need to do in order to move forward, and I will continue to do that until I get to where I want to be. And I don't even know what that is because my visualization is endless. Like, I don't want everything. What I want is the financial freedom and the freedom to do whatever I want with who I want. Um, but I also want to have the freedom to do what God wants me to do for his kingdom. So, I mean, if that means teaching jiu-jitsu or kickboxing or being here or coaching someone like I'm doing in my business, just I just want to have the freedom to be and be happy. And I'm sure that that's what we're going to do. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, yes, definitely. I think for me, I had like a very very different mindset, like and just like my whole family, a poor mindset, right? So I would like to be able to help other people to do the same as I'm
Very
doing.
nice.
You know, like my family, a lot of kids are coming. You know, and they will come with that mindset that I was raised, and all my family are still on that mindset, you know, and it's not their fault. But I think on being an adventurous person, I kind of started looking for, you know, different ways of getting things, you know.
Right.
So yes, I would like to help other people that to get out of I am
That's
getting
good.
out, you know.
Let's talk about that poor mindset. Like, what is that? Because not a lot of people know what that is. Like, for me, my in my family is from Guatemala. So my grandmother lived next to a river, basically super old school. Uh, I mean, when I say that, I mean, we are blessed, but when I say that we've come from very poor background, I mean, basically Guatemala is the uh, one of the countries where they have the most crime and violence as well. So, I mean, not only are we facing uh, poverty, but there's also violence and just other social economic things that are going on that is like on our back and like holding us down and not having the resources, not having inheritance, not having the resources. And I'm sighing because I've had to do a lot of work. I mean, my grandmother was old school. They landed in a neighborhood where there was a lot of crime as well and gangs and just the things that I've had to do to crawl out of that mindset. I mean, when I used to work hard, my family used to say, and that's why I asked you earlier. My family used to say, like, why are you giving your life to that company? Why are you working so hard? What are you doing? And it's like, well, if I don't, where am I going to end up? I'm going to end up still living here, like where I'm at.
Like the average.
Right. And so I'm not saying that I just knew that that's not I just didn't want to raise my kids in an environment that wasn't going to be suitable for their personal growth and and yeah, I mean, I've had to make changes to and I'm not saying hopefully where we do want to build the generational wealth for our family. And that's what we're working on now.
Yes, what I can say is first, it's not their fault, right?
Of course it's not.
So like
It's not
my
our fault.
parents have like a poor mindset. Yes, they are like nice people, like honest, great people, but we have poor mindset because we come from poor family. Like my dad, he didn't have like flip flops. He would walk barefoot when he was a kid because he didn't have like
Oh, that's
and
it. My family is a
yes,
similar
and
story.
then his house was on fire. He lost his house. He
Oh,
lost
I'm
his
sorry.
mom. You know, like it's
I'm
very
sorry.
like sad story. And then but he moved like from one place to another place, kind of just what I'm doing. You know, he moved from the state of Minas Gerais to São Paulo, and then he got a job, and but he kept that poor mindset. What would be work for a company and retire?
Mm-hmm.
The poor mindset, right? So and I found out that I could do different and I could open a business, you know.
Yay! That's
So
awesome,
and
CEO.
yes, and but as is a hard like mind working to realize that. Until like a few years ago, I couldn't believe I could open my business. And now, oh my God, my business is open.
So tell me something. Can anyone be a business owner?
Depend on the will.
Mm. If you want to, you can.
Yes, maybe you want to be like a manager. Like your dream is just to be a manager in
An
an X
entrepreneur. Hmm.
corporation, and maybe your dream is so it all depends on
Just
your
be the
dream.
best that
Yeah,
you can in the situation that you're in and keep moving forward.
exactly. Yes, I think it all depends on what you want, right?
Hmm. Very true. Very true.